Happy Friday afternoon. It's been a great week for the orchestra here at Passage Middle School. This week, our beginners were preparing for their test on Monday. Our intermediate and advanced orchestra students were working on their all-city auditions. And our symphony orchestra had a great rehearsal yesterday in preparing for the winter concert and their Washington, D.C. trip. First off, this upcoming Monday, November 3rd, is the end of the first marking period. If you were absent from one of our informal performances this past week, please make sure that you complete the makeup assignment by Monday at 11:59 p.m. After that, we can no longer accept any grade changes, so I need that to be called in by 11:59 p.m. on Monday evening. This upcoming week, our beginners will be taking a test on Monday. The test for our 6th grade beginners will be number 55, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and the test for our 7th and 8th grade beginners will be number 62, Up and Down the D major scale. Our intermediate and advanced students will have their all-city auditions this upcoming week. Those auditions are on Thursday from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Hines Middle School. Students who have not turned in their permission form will need to do so before Thursday, especially if they're going to ride the bus. Otherwise, they won't be able to ride the bus and they won't be able to do their audition, which is a performance grade. Students who are riding the bus to and from Hines Middle School from Passage should stay after school with me on Thursday, or they can stay after school with someone else and then come to me at 4:15. Either way is fine. They do not have to actually stay with me unless they have nowhere else to stay, and then staying with me is probably the right answer. All parents who indicated that their child will ride the bus from Hines Middle School back to Passage Middle School should be here at 7:50 p.m. to pick up their child. Just so that we're all very clear, there will be no bus transportation to take kids home from Passage Middle School, so parents will need to come to Passage Middle School to pick up their child at 7:50 p.m. The Symphony Orchestra, of course, is going to Washington, D.C., and they got their letters yesterday. So if you're in Symphony Orchestra and you got the letter yesterday, you have to return the permission form by Monday. Most field trips were a little flexible. You don't have to have it in by the due date as long as it's close. Some of you don't turn in the first one at all. You know, for our Springfield trip, we can be more flexible. But for this trip, because it came up so quickly and because we had to move so quickly, I need both the permission form and the deposit by Monday. We have to have at least 37 students come with an acceptable amount per instrumental section. So if we don't have that by Monday, Mr. Bell and I are going to have to make a hard decision. So please make sure you have your permission form and your deposit by Monday, because otherwise we may not be able to go on the trip at all. So they're due on Monday. Please have them by Monday. All parents who want to go on the trip, and of course this is for Symphony Orchestra only, we still have 15 chaperone seats available. And if we don't have all 57 students go, we may have more seats available other than that. Chaperone seats are reserved on a first-come, first-served basis, and that's based on the student turning in their permission form as well as their deposit. You have to have both the permission form and the deposit to reserve the seat. If you have any questions about that, please make sure you send me an email over the weekend, and please make sure that those forms are turned in by Monday with a deposit. There was a little bit of confusion about cost. For students, the cost is $55 total. That's $45 for transportation and $10 for lunch. Okay, for chaperones, the cost is either $20 or $30. $20 to ride the bus, and for the adults, you can either pay the $10 and get the lunch up front, or you don't have to pay the $10 and you can get your own lunch while we're there. You'll be able to eat with the students still. You'll just have to pay for it, and it may be more expensive. So $10 is the food cost, and then $45 for transportation for students and $20 for transportation for chaperones. And the deposit counts towards that. So If it's $55 for a student, you pay a $10 deposit, then you only have to pay $45. The fundraiser will begin on Wednesday, November 5th. We may send stuff home on Monday, depending on how much preparation we have to do for it. But fundraiser will begin on November 5th at the latest. You have 2 weeks until Wednesday, November 19th. Any money that you raise, the profit goes directly towards your student trip account. So if you fundraise the $55, then you don't have to pay anything for the trip. Students have also asked if they raise more than the $55 for the trip, can they apply the additional fundraising money towards their spring trip? And the answer to that for me is yes. For band, I'll have to talk to Mr. Bell and see. But for the orchestra students, the answer is yes. If you fundraise more than the required amount, then you can use that to pay for the spring trip. If you have any questions about the fundraiser when it gets home, please feel free to let me know. Practice records, for this week only, practice records will be due on Wednesday, November 5th. So you don't have to worry about getting it on Monday. You can get it in on Monday, but it's not due till Wednesday. So a 0 won't go in the gradebook until Thursday. As always, please remember that practice records must be turned in by Friday at the latest, or else they will not be counted. They will earn a 0. The newsletter with more information will be sent home on Sunday. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time by phone 757-528-2033 or by email sean.roberts@nn.k12.va.us. Hope everyone has a fabulous week, and I will see you next Friday.